Good afternoon, class. My name is Jose Sanchez, and today I will be bringing you guys a character analysis of the book Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis. The character I chose is Edward Roland Weston, also known as Dr. Weston. Now, today I've chose aside a few quotes that could describe the character without me going into depth. On page 125, Dr. Weston is quoted saying, "Quite common among savages, the witch doctors or medicine men pretend to go and trace." With this quote, he's talking about a new life or other life other than humans, and he's referring to them as savages. A way we see this in history is when people or the Spanish conquered parts of America and see the Native Americans and their practices. Just because they were different or unique and they could practice sacrifice, they've sought them as savages. Another quote that Dr. Weston is quote saying on page 127, "You no roar at me," he thundered. "You no try make me afraid of you, me not afraid of you." It is very improper grammar. However, he believes he's talking to savages, in the case being that he's talking to an all-powerful being, and he's very mistaken because his assumption actually leads him to his ignorance, and his ignorance is thinking that these people or this being is no more than a ventriloquist. And my last quote, "To you I may seem a vulgar robber, but I bear on my shoulders the destiny of the human race." Now, what does that mean to really believe that you are the one to help the human race, or that it is your destiny to do so? Bear in mind that we're talking about a guy who thinks, or whose philosophy is science. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with science, but in particular with Dr. Weston is that he believes in a division in social class. He believes that high class and only high middle class is part of society, and all those other people who are working and probably build the economy are nothing or are less. And if I could compare Dr. Weston to anybody in modern day or to a real person, I would compare him to Adolf Hitler. See, Adolf Hitler thought of Jewish people as savages, just as Dr. Weston did to these new life in mitochondria. And it's kind of funny because they share quite a few significant elements. One element being is that element I could compare Dr. Weston to with Adolf Hitler is the fact that they both believe in a superior race. Now, for Dr. Weston, it's more money, economical status. With Adolf Hitler, it was appearance. Adolf Hitler believed in a superior race, as in blonde hair and blue eyes, and had to be of the German descent. And he believed that this was the superior race, that this race should be breeded. In fact, he started camps in order to make sure that this race became dominant. And another factor that they both share is that Dr. Weston saw these new Thalichondrians, you might say, as savages, just as Adolf Hitler viewed the Jewish as savage. In fact, here's a quote from a book of Hitler Speaks. "They refer to me as an uneducated barbarian. Yes, we are barbarians. We love to be barbarian. It is an honor titled to us that shall never be removed to this world, the world that never its end." Ratching, Hitler Speaks. Now, this says a lot about Adolf Hitler's character as a whole. Adolf Hitler viewing a whole human race as insignificant or as barbarians is just very disrespectful. But at the same time, you can see where it's coming from, the Dr. Weston and Adolf Hitler both mixed together.